Hi, my name's Kevin with shopabizop.com. Today I'm visiting with the CEO, president, founder of CleanLots, Brian Winch. Brian, take it away.
Hey, it's nice to be here, Kevin.
Thank you for coming, and I appreciate you being part of the show.
Well, I appreciate having the opportunity.
Can you tell us, I have already published an article that people can read at ShopABizOp about some questionnaires that you did. This is going to pair with it. I wanted to share very quickly because together we've shared this, but I participated in multiple cleanups over the period of about a year. I got to know the industry fairly well. I had no idea your type of opportunity existed. If I did, I probably would have hawked it to people back then because there was many people involved in doing it. It's instant pleasure, instant gratification, instant pay. There's a lot of things about it that I really love, but locking down, let's just say, a parking lot for a large, company is fairly simple to do. It's easier for, to get your service to do it than it would an employee and things along those lines. And there's so much more to it. So for the price that you're charging as well, which we'll get to, at the end, this is kind of, one of those deals where I'm surprised a lot more people didn't know about it, but I didn't. I Googled it, when I was looking for additional green businesses to feature on the website that I thought were going to have not only long legs, but I'm looking for the most valid, the validity behind some of these are not so great, in some of the home-based businesses. So what we're really looking for is the best home-based online internet businesses to put on ShopABizOp. And then having this type of forum will help people understand a little bit more from the owner about how they can get involved. So can you start by telling people what CleanLots is and how it became about?
Okay, well, CleanLots is a book that I've written where I share my experience cleaning up litter from parking lots since 1981. And I started providing this service as a side hustle. I was working full time and not really enjoying being an employee, wanting more out of life. And I've always been kind of the independent type of thinker person, and I love the outdoors. And I started looking at a number of opportunities. And back then, I was 21 years old, barely graduated high school, not many skills, and a very tiny amount of money in the bank. So I didn't have a lot of money for startup. So I was looking at different opportunities. And like I said, this was 1981, well before the internet. So I was searching, what can I do? What kind of opportunities are out there? And I recalled that a couple of years or a few years earlier, my dad was moonlighting. Back then, it wasn't called a side hustle or side gig, but he moonlighted by cleaning up litter outside a neighborhood shopping plaza. And he had taken me along with him a couple of times. And I thought, wow, this is easy work and it's easy money. And all you had to do was walk the sidewalks, the parking lot, the surrounding landscape, or the entire exterior property of a commercial building, and sweep up any type of litter material. And, we were doing this on a daily basis. It wasn't going in once a week and cleaning up an accumulation and being there forever. It was just a matter of the time it took to walk the property and clean it up. And I thought, wow, well, you know what, let me investigate the market for this service. And so that's how it started. I started making a couple of phone calls to property management companies because they are your customers. They need to maintain their property, whether it be landscaping, snow removal, litter pick, you name it. And I can't remember if it was my third or fourth phone call, and I hit the jackpot. The property manager said, I've got 3 properties. I'm having a tough time finding somebody reliable who will come by and clean up the litter. Would you be interested? And so that's where the whole learning process started. Like I said, I didn't have much experience, many skills, so I had to learn pretty quickly, what to charge, what tools to use, when was the best time to provide the service, et cetera, and, how to start a business and get it going. I did that, and 4 years later, I was dumbfounded how simple this business was, how you could make great money doing this, and very few other people, it seemed, were doing it. And that was where I came up with the idea to put down my experience in a book. And that's where CleanLots was born. So I'm selling the book. I'm teaching other people across the country how to provide a similar service as mine. And go one step further, because I know it works, it's proven, I also offer free support. So anybody who wants to buy my book and is willing to put the time into it and get started, I'm available to help them out.
That's I overuse this term, but critical component is something that I use all the time, because the training and support after someone buys a business in a box or a book or a manual or something to tell them or show them or what to do typically doesn't get any training with almost all business opportunities that are out there. The ones on our website, we've tried to pick primarily ones that do offer training and support after the sale, because what do you do with something like that if you don't have business acumen, skill set, and it isn't 1981 and you aren't learning the way you did? That's rare. I mean, and the way you put this together and your timeline is incredible. So coming from humble beginnings to where you are now, you must look back and just smile. And just it's one of those great success stories where and your dad would be proud of you, looking down saying, what an incredible way. I taught my son great values, how to make money, what the value of money is, and how to replicate that. He taught you how to fish. And what an amazing thing. And that's exactly what you're doing with people. Is the manual is wonderful, by the way. And full disclosure, I'm actually an affiliate of yours. If you want to go on, there's a couple of different places to buy it. But in general, what I try to do is get people to go on your listing, learn more about you, really get in depth with the video. Your original video is quite good. It tells people kind of who, what, why, when, and where, and then your background. And when I was reading about your background in 81, pre-internet, you must have been scratching your head, looking at the local Gazette or newspaper or whatever it might be, looking where, how do I do this? And with the advent of the internet now, on not any one portal has all of the opportunities that are out there, and the good ones try to pick and choose people that are good. So training sport, really high up on my list. Low cost is very high up on my list. And then the success rate. You actually have people out there, boots on the ground, that have bought it, doing it, and have been successful. That's very different, again, than many different opportunities that are out there. They're either aspirational, they're new, or they've built such a large system where there's 20, 30,000 people doing it, and there's too much competition. In this, interestingly enough, I have a landscaping background for commercial, and there's a myth out there that landscapers pick up garbage. We don't. My skags would go right over the garbage
right.
and throw it all over the place. So really, and we got a lot of flack about that back in the day, but we're not litter picker-uppers. We are landscapers. If we were paid to do that out of gardens and whatnot, we would have done that for the commercial property that we were servicing. But in almost all cases, they had a separate person. It was called an employee, usually a manager or owner, and they did not want to be doing it. If they got introduced to a service to do it for them, that owner would much rather not be seen in his own parking lot cleaning things up. It's an ego thing, and I don't know why, because I'd rather be in my own parking lot cleaning it up, smiling out there. But there's so many businesses out there that need yours, across the United States. It doesn't have to be corporate. It can be a mom and pop. It can be a strip mall. It could be a mall. And one or two great accounts can make somebody, I know the term side hustle generally has been replaced from moonlighting, but this really can be a great side hustle. Couple hours a day, couple accounts a week. You've got a great ancillary revenue coming in that's residual that you can count on. When you sign an account, typically they don't want to end picking up garbage. There's usually more garbage or more things or more referrals. Hey, I know this other guy with this other business. And that leads me to my next question that I prepped on. Do you find that other people have given business, what's the proper way to say this? Word of mouth is really the right term. But if somebody gets, Sally Smith gets your book, puts it into action, calls, gets the local parking lot down the street at Starbucks, for instance. Have you seen many people give word of mouth business and then pass that along because they have the service to other people?
Well, what I've found is that once you've got your foot in the door with a particular client, which is usually a property management company, if they're happy with your service, then they're going to contact you, and they're going to offer more work to you. And the good thing about your clients, which are property management companies, they're in the business of managing multiple properties. So they don't manage one; they manage 6, 12, 20. And so if they're happy with your service at one property, you've got a great opportunity to do multiple sites for that one customer. But it's a small world. People move around. So quite often I will get a phone call or an email from somebody, out of left field, and they'll say, I know John Smith over at Comore Realty, and he referred you to me. I'm having a problem with litter in my parking lots, and he suggested I give you a shout and let's see what you can do for me. So there is referrals there. There's all sorts of ways to get pick up business without having to pay for it, and referrals is one thing. But also there's all sorts of free directories that you can get your service listed in. And some people are out thinking, well, how am I going to spend money? I need money for a website, et cetera, et cetera. Well, the first thing you should do is claim your free Google My Business listing. Mm-hmm. And then in addition to you trying to pick up customers, you're making it easier for prospects to find you once you have that little profile set up. And so there's all sorts of different things you can do to attract customers and to get them.
You and I are big proponents on free directories. That was one of the articles I originally posted when I put up Shop a Biz Up. There's over 100 free directories. You could Google this on our website that will allow you to post. Not only that, will allow you to post a backlink, phone number, map, local geographic, specificity, that sort of thing. Quick ads to give somebody a free tool out there that might not have a budget to post these things. Quick ads is also a good one, since Craigslist and Backpage have kind of gone by the wayside. But your book tells people how to do this. So I don't want to share too much, but it literally shows people where to get business, how to achieve that, and then how to maintain that business. So that's nice.
Yeah, and also this business is easy too, because exactly who your customers are. Real estate, property management companies. So you're not dealing with the general public and certain demographics. So is it male, female, et cetera, et cetera. You know exactly who your clients are. So it makes it easier for you to reach out to them and, try to pick up business.
Also, it's easier to get paid.
Yeah.
Just to be blunt.
And you know what? I have to be honest, this isn't a business where you're going to get stiffed.
Yeah.
These companies, they've got a lot of money in the bank. These properties are run by pension funds, institutional investors, real estate investment trusts, et cetera, et cetera. There's money there to pay the bills. So, it's not something you ever have to worry about. And like you mentioned earlier before, you can get a contract and it could run for years. I've been dealing with some customers for up to 30 years. And I get paid. I've been getting paid month after month, year after year, and they enjoy doing business with me. And one of the little tricks that's in the book is how to provide that great customer service, how to provide that extra value. Because let's be frank, anybody can clean, anybody can clean up litter. But what sets our business model apart is we build that relationship. And for example, if we're out cleaning a property and we notice the side wall of a building was tagged with graffiti, we're not going to ignore that and have the attitude, well, that's not my job, somebody else is going to pass it on. That's an opportunity for us to talk to our customer and let them know, look, we're at your building cleaning up. We noticed that you got fresh graffiti in the wall. You might want that, to get that dealt with. And they love that. They appreciate that. They appreciate that extra value. But like I said, it helps build and cement that business relationship. So they're more likely to want to continue doing business with you and send more business to you.
Yeah, some of those people, because they're not on site.
Yeah, well, and you know what? They try to. I mean, they might have a building operator that is supposed to get around to as many properties in their portfolio as possible in a day, but so there's some days they're not going to get there, and they're going to miss that. So if you bring that to the attention of your client, they may pass it on to the building operator, and he can deal with it, whoever they use to clean up graffiti, etc.
Yeah, the longevity of your accounts are amazing. Anybody can have decade-long accounts, 2 decades and 3 decades. that, I'm speaking directly to the camera. If you buy the book, I believe the book is $80, right?
Yeah, so
I wanted to get to that before the end. The book, I mean, it's like $79. So for $79, you get a business in a box. You get a home-based, you could make this a full-time gig, side hustle, whatever it might be. It fits for anybody. Almost anybody, even someone who might have physical challenges could still do this job. That I found that there's quite a bit that's out there that is untapped. But what I wanted to share with people, I have trouble looking in the camera. What I wanted to share with people is that it's easy. It's something that you purchase, you get to know Brian, and then you can basically start extrapolating the information from the book right away. I would say, I don't want to put you on the spot on camera, but I would say in 30 days or less, people probably would have not only an indication if this is for them, but accounts potentially, if they're moving along.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I have a saying, if you work the business will work for you. So you have to put the effort in. And but I will caution people, it's not something that happens overnight. You're not going to necessarily in the first day, right, like I did. Again, it can happen, but
it could. Yeah.
I like to be honest with people. Oftentimes, you have to start that whole conversation. And so a lot of times it's sending information to a prospect. It may take them a couple days, maybe a week for them to get back to you. Okay, I saw it, I've got other questions. What about this, that? And then they decide, okay, you know what, we're willing to take you on, but however, we have to give our existing business, whoever's doing the service, some notice. And so it could be maybe a few weeks before you actually get your foot in the door and start providing the service. But like I say, anything is possible. I've had some people, get, the first day, get some leads and move forward to getting those contracts. And in some cases, it can take a bit longer, but like I say, you can't be afraid of hearing some no's, because you have to have the understanding that you might hear 1, 2, 3, 5 no's, but then make that 6th phone call and you're going to get a yes. And you don't need to be a salesperson. I'm an introvert. I like I said, I started this business with no sales experience or anything like that. But I call the whole process warm calling, not cold calling. And what I'm doing is I'm contacting these prospects, and I simply want to educate them, let them know, look, here's how my service can benefit you. Here's how I can provide a better service for less money. Would you be interested in getting more information? And that's what gets the whole ball rolling.
Yeah. I'm very happy to hear that the up and close cycle is realistic. You hear all the hype. Make money tomorrow, make money next week, make $100 today, a lot of Facebook posts and, with a lot of emojis. It's wonderful and everything, but realistic business takes time. And an up and close cycle of 21 to 30 days is realistic for almost any type of sales looking in the camera that you're doing. And if anybody is telling you otherwise, it's probably, maybe great up front, and that there's nothing wrong with that, and making an electric bill on, at the end of the week, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want something long-term, invest in yourself. Invest that 30 days. Really, buckle down, make a choice, whatever business it is. If it's CleanLots, fantastic, buy it. You're talking about $80. That's less than a dinner. Buy the book, figure out what you want to do with it. Call Brian, get some ideas about where you are, geo-located, and then start working the work. And like you said, someone picks up the phone a number of times, they are going to get no's. We all do. Everybody does. But you will eventually get the golden egg. And if the golden egg is going to stay with you for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you're not repeating the process of sales. That's one of the things that I love about this business. Is typically people stick with you. It's like a landscaping service. You do a great job and you show up on time and you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to get paid on time every time. Then no one wants to deal with it. They just want a service that comes, without having to really think about it. It's almost a set it and forget it type of mentality that they have. I've got it. CleanLots is coming by. They look good. They're professional when they come. They know what they're doing, and I don't have to worry about it. And that's the type of service they want. They don't want to have to worry about, is Gene from marketing going to go out and sweep the lot? Because Gene's not going to do a good job. And Gene's never going to talk about the gang tats out back. He's just not going to do that. So, and if I'm offending any Genes out there, my God, I'm sorry. But anyway, the whole purpose is, great side hustle, part-time, low cost, low impact, easy to learn. I can't think another thing great to say about it. One of the things that I personally love, I love green businesses, like American patriotic businesses, be honest, and this is made in America. So it's one of those things where it was born, made in America, and it's probably could be taken to any other country it could, but I really would love people to look into this. CleanLots, incidentally.com is the URL for this. And even though we've got a great, wonderful ad up on Shop of BizOp, go to cleanlots.com because you can actually buy straight there on the website, click and buy, and you're good to go. Also has the phone number for Brian, but could you share that with us real quick? How can they contact you?
Oh, okay. Well, cleanlots.com. If you want my phone number, the phone rings on my desk. It's 403-236-7551.
Could you repeat that?
403-236-7551.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you being a part of this community, and I hope that many people will take on eco and green businesses with more fervor and take them into the future. 2020 is going to be a great year for everybody, I believe, but this is the time of year that people should be buying a business, getting trained, and locking it down so they can be making money around the holidays. Think about that as you look at the video. So now's the time, act now. And Brian, again, I really appreciate it. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the viewers?
It's worked for me. I can honestly tell you, if I can be successful in this business, there's no reason why you can't either. Especially if you love working outdoors. It's almost as easy as getting paid for going for a daily walk.
By the way, this is year round. Litter happens year round. Don't think seasonally. I had a question. Actually, I had a call on that the other day. We should end on that. This is year round. Litter happens during snowstorms, slush storms, and it is especially nasty during the winter when you don't want to see a Snickers wrapper flying by through the wonderful flakes of snow. So this is year round. So
I can tell you, I clean up more coffee cups during the winter months than any other time of year.
It is, it's incredible. When we were going out during the winter, it was worse during the spring. And even though this is Florida, I got to learn that winter months were actually where people were littering more than summer. I don't understand that, but litter's not going anywhere, unfortunately. And hopefully CleanLots can make a difference.
Well, that's what I set out to do.
All right. Very good. Thank you again, Brian.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right.